Now, one of those who was caught up in the commotion at the National Assembly is a representative from Osun State, Professor Olushola Adeyeye. He expressed bitterness and cautions the police. He spoke earlier on with my colleague, Linda Akigbe.
There is no greater emergency in a democracy than when you attack parliament. If that extension of emergency must be made, it must include the FCT, where the legislature, where the sovereignty of the people reside is being tear-gassed. How many people will they kill? How many people will they kill?
Fumes from the tear gas attack, which covered this area of the National Assembly, is gradually clearing away. Therefore, many people are able to move freely around this section of the National Assembly. But the Senate President, David Mark, has shut down the National Assembly, that's the two chambers, the Senate and the House of Representatives, until Tuesday next week in response to the tear gas attack on the National Assembly by security officials. Now remember that both chambers of the National Assembly were supposed to discuss President Jonathan's request for the extension of emergency rule, but that did not happen because of the crisis that occurred today in the National Assembly.
Well, reactions really haven't stopped, as senior advocate of Nigerian lawyer to the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal Jibrin Okutekpa, has threatened to sue the Inspector General of Police for contempt of court by preventing proceedings of the House of Representatives. Other lawyers who also reacted to today's incident shared opposing opinions on the issue.
No one expected the drama that unfolded at the National Assembly that led to federal lawmakers climbing the gate to reconvene for an emergency sitting. Senior lawyers have been reacting to the crisis. Lawyer to the Speaker of the House of Representatives threatened to sue the Inspector General of Police.
For the same Nigerian police, whoever gave them the order to act in sabotage of the same constitution that set them up is, to say the least, an unfortunate situation. So we will meet, we'll look at it and see if any conduct of the security apparatus is suggestive of contempt behavior, and we'll bring it before the court.
What is happening, Gloria, is completely undemocratic. It's a throwback to military, to the dark days of military rule. It is, symptomatic of desperation by the ruling party to hold on to power at all costs. And another angle to this, of course, is the pure discriminatory practice that has been introduced into this whole thing. So if you want to take it out of the realm of law and take it, to the realm of good conscience and equity and fair play, what is happening is outrageous.
Not all were, however, quick to criticize the police, but instead they call for a negotiation between warring parties.
And I do not think it is going to be in the interest of all, be it opposition or the ruling party, if we do not apply some caution. And even if there is a barricade, I do not think taking the law into our hands is the solution to it. So one self-help cannot cure another self-help. Because if the thing are degenerated, we lose lives, and then all those kind of things, it's not going to be the best for the country.
In many ways, the crisis which brewed at the National Assembly has been described as a show of force by the police. But besides that, there's strong clamor for the police to demonstrate more caution in crisis situations. Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
Well, meanwhile, the Nigerian police has been defending its action at the National Assembly today. Force Public Relations Officer Emmanuel Ojukwu says the police deployed its personnel to the premises of the National Assembly following an intelligence report of a likely invasion of the House by hoodlums and thugs. He explained that in the course of screening members and visitors alike, the Speaker of the House, Mr. Aminu Tambuwal, arrived at the venue with a motley crowd who broke the police cordon, assaulted officers and evaded due process. He wants politicians and their followers to respect constituted authority and due process and desist from the use of thugs to pursue their agenda. Well, politics, they say, is a game of numbers, but its practice most times leaves all but the gladiators clueless. This appears to be the case in Ekiti State House of Assembly, where 7 PDP lawmakers met and impeached the Speaker, Honorable Adewale Omiri. The governor of the state, Mr. Ayo Fayose, says he will recognize Honorable Oladele Olugbemi as the Speaker of the House, anointed by the PDP lawmakers. But the 19 APC members say the action is illegal and they will fight it to the end. Our political correspondent, Shameful reports.
The Speaker has been impeached. All right, sir. The Deputy Speaker has been impeached.
That was the outcome of the sitting of the PDP lawmakers in the Ekiti House of Assembly, and this is their reason.
They have been impeached on the ground that, one, they left their official responsibility without an official notice.
Meanwhile, just as the PDP lawmakers were sitting in Ekiti, the capital of the state, the 19 APC lawmakers are here in Lagos, briefing journalists on the state of things.
We are not just here, but to let you know that we are not saved here.
And on the impeachment of Honorable Adewale Omiri, this group disagrees with what transpired in Ekiti.
I, right from Dr. Adewale Omiri, is the Speaker of Ekiti State House of Assembly by the mandate of majority of all the honorable members in Ekiti State. And as a matter of fact, what they are doing today is totally illegal, because 7 of them cannot form a quorum and they cannot sit. And they are not even 2/3. I will only be removed from that position by 2/3 majority of the House. That is 18 members.
Honorable Oladele Olugbemi is gearing up for the task of his new office. And what better way to get started than to get fortified spiritually?
Fire of Holy Ghost to consume them in Jesus' name.
From there, he moves to the office of the Speaker and then his first official speech.
The change in the leadership of the House is occasioned by emerging realities.
The governor of Ekiti State, Mr. Ayodele Fayose, bears his mind on the unfolding twist.
I am confirming this change. I have been briefed, and the Speaker, the new Speaker, we are prepared to work with, without apologies. Without apologies. Yes.
It appears the ABC lawmakers here won't watch the episode without giving it a fight. They seem resolute on their next step of action.
We are going to use law to fight him. We are not going to fight on the street. And we want to inform all Ekiti people that we are not running away from Ekiti State. We are coming back to the House to sit. So we are going back to Ekiti State to sit and let them kill us and let the entire world see him.
A legal practitioner, Ekiti Ogunye, gives perspective on the issue.
When that happens, you don't even call it an impeachment. It cannot be an impeachment. You can't stand logic on this. It doesn't happen. The result is to go to the law court. It may be painful, it may take a long process, but that's the only way we can go.
The dramatic event in the Ekiti House of Assembly looks set to unfold on a large scale. That may not totally be strange in the political history of the state, but where this very one is headed still leaves everyone in the dark. Shameful reporting for Channels Television News.
Well, there's been commotion and drama at the National Assembly and the Ekiti State House of Assembly. While the legislators tested their fence scaling skills, the Ekiti lawmakers, 7 out of 26 of them, sacked the Speaker. Now joining me to discuss today's development is a solicitor of the Supreme Court, Mr. Osahon Ihenye. Good to have you join us this evening. From the pictures and speeches you've seen so far from all of those who spoke in that report, what do you make of it?
Man, I'm ashamed. It's shocking. The last time I checked, I thought the people there are actually lawmakers and not armed robbers scaling the fence to get into a place. I don't know why the Inspector General of Police will give orders that they be prevented from, the lawmakers
prevented from getting into the house.
But you're sorry to butt in there, but you had a reason given that they got security reports, intelligence reports, so to speak, that were hoodlums were coming to invade the assembly complex.
Tambuwal is not one of the hoodlums. You know members of the House of Assembly. You know members of the House of Representatives. You know the senators. You can't say that because you heard hoodlums are going to come. You will know the hoodlums. You will know the people that are not normally in that building. I think that I just want to believe that just for the sake of sanity, that the Inspector General of Police is acting his own script without anybody prompting him, because it's a shame. I think the presidency, if it has anything to do with this, must rein in the excesses and illegalities of the police in all this. And having said that, that also does not support, I mean, what the legislators did. I mean, scaling the gate, scaling the fence. I was shocked. I don't know what these men, these grown-up men, want their children.
What does that amount to? Does that amount to taking laws into your hands?
Precisely. I think it's even more than that. This is some kind of brigandage. See, and whilst they are scaling the fence or jumping over, some people were clapping and hailing them. I mean, it's unacceptable. Both parties, I mean, the police are to be blamed, and even the lawmakers too are to be blamed. Look at this man. What does he think he's doing? Scaling the fence to go and do your job? Yes, the police are wrong to have stopped them from gaining access to the legislative chambers, but I think if I were in their shoes, I'll just turn back and go home.
Well, they say two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah,
you have said that there's a blame on the police and also a blame on the National Assembly members. But let's look at a third action. Well, the Senate President had to shut down the Assembly complex, and they went ahead to throw out the emergency request from the President. What does that mean?
But I saw some discrimination there too. The Senate President was not prevented from entering the Senate chambers. He was not prevented from driving in. And the members of the House of Representatives were prevented. Why that? I think that is not acceptable. Totally unacceptable what has happened here. I must say to you that the presidency must, if assuming, I want to assume for 1 minute, and for the sake of my sanity, and of course for the sanity of all Nigerians, that the presidency does not have anything to do with this. They're just some overzealous policemen who have carried out this act. But should the presidency be involved, I think it's about time the president should rein in the excesses of the police IG. This is not what he's supposed to do. Absolutely unacceptable.
Well, it looks like coincidence, but it also occurred today in Ekiti State. 7 out of 26 finally sacked the speaker.
It's not possible. It's not possible. It's totally unacceptable. I mean, it's unconstitutional. It's illegal. And it cannot be acceptable. I mean, I don't understand what is going on here. These people are just turning law on its head. 7 people, that definitely cannot be 2/3. From the last time I checked, it has to be 2/3 majority of members that can possibly remove the speaker. Not 7. 7 out of 26 definitely is not 2/3. It's unacceptable, it's unconstitutional. And of course, I do not know why Ekiti has suddenly turned into some kind of a jungle, being run by some funny people. Why would 7 people? It doesn't make sense. It's unacceptable. And I think all this madness just has to stop.
Well, what will be your suggestion in getting to an amicable solution to all of this?
To get to an amicable solution, the police have to do what they are supposed to do. They have to do their work according to law, their job according to law. They are not supposed to be barring members of the House of Assembly from going to the Assembly. And of course, 7 members cannot by any stretch of imagination be allowed to impeach, to remove the Speaker. Is unacceptable.
Mr. Osahihaya, thank you for joining us on the News at 10.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
When the News at 10 returns, the National Summit on Entrepreneurship and Innovation revisits the drive for entrepreneurship development in the country. There's some business news. Join us again. Bye.